Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of And Now You Know with Bette and Julz. I'm Bette.
And I'm Julz.
And today we're going to talk about the importance of your health and wellness, all of it, physical, mental, emotional, all of it. And we're calling this one Motion is Lotion.
Yep, and that name comes from my eldest son. He's always like, Mom, motion is lotion. Move, move, move. He's always saying rage against age. And it came up because I was talking to a really good friend of mine on the phone the other day, and they're just not that old, and they can't move. They're like bedridden, and I don't want that to happen. So the younger you are, start moving. Walk 2, 4, 5 miles a day, lift some light weights. You don't have to go and be Mr. or Miss Universe. Just use your body. And it's so, the motion is lotion part is so true.
Yep.
Honestly.
It is true. And I remember just even a few years ago, I've been divorced for 5 years, and I'm going to talk about that part of it because that's really when I changed everything. Yep. But even before then, when I was in my 30s, you have a couple babies at home. I did. And so I just didn't do anything. Yeah. I didn't work out. No. I was constantly tired all the time. I was overweight. And so,
your body hurts.
And your body hurts, and you're constantly fatigued and all that stuff. And when I got divorced, I just something clearly changed. And I decided to really start paying attention to my body. And Julz and I went on this
You started losing weight.
Yes, I started
really being intentional with what you were eating.
Yeah, well, part of it started with depression.
Yeah, so depression.
It started with
the divorce diet.
Yes,
will make you get skinny in a hurry.
For sure. So it started with that.
What's so weird, Bette, is you didn't even act like you were depressed.
Well,
at all.
It's funny because I have been. I have been able to compartmentalize my feelings. And so I know that I did that. So I did show up to work and to, around people. I showed up like
Did you ever cry?
Fine. Yes, I definitely cried.
You didn't ever?
No, it didn't appear like I did, but I definitely did.
But what's so weird is we were so close, but I never saw that.
Well, I'm so
sorry.
No, you and I did have.
Makes me sad.
We had conversations. I feel like you saw me in my most vulnerable.
Maybe you did cry.
Yeah, I definitely cried with you.
Yeah. Maybe
you were the only person I cried with.
Yeah.
But I was, the most vulnerable with her and a couple other people. But really, that really changed my whole life. And I started going to therapy. I started doing personal growth and development workshops and retreats. And if anybody knows Tony Robbins, changed my life. I started attending the conferences. Now, this was during COVID, right. So I only did them virtually because they didn't have them available for in person. But I went to Date with Destiny. I went to UPW. Those are the things that really jump-started everything that I completely am so grateful for, that changed my appearance, changed me spiritually, emotionally, mentally. But the most important thing is that we both in 2020 had a lot of turbulence, and we were
everybody
both
did.
Yeah, everybody did.
Just with everything shutting down, that was enough. But Bette was going through the divorce. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and then within
just a few months,
8 weeks, she was gone.
Yeah,
and it was just super intense taking care of her. I had a fantastic boss at work who told me that she would cover me, just go and take care of my mom. And I did some work, but
of course,
for the most part, even if I'd gone to the office, I wouldn't have really been there.
Well, so I'm gonna do a sidebar right now.
And I got really fat during that stressful time.
Yes. So first, let me address that. So both of us did. Both of us were already
on our way to full-blown fluffiness.
Yes, we were, and it was then and for me, it started at the end of the year, December of 2022, when I started attending. That was for me. That was for me.
Yeah.
When I attended my first Tony Robbins event, and it completely changed my mindset. And I decided, and I remember I was journaling, and I did this whole you know,
It
right.
had to be the end of 21.
No, it was 2020. It was December
Oh,
of 2020.
2020. You said 22 just a second ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I meant to say December
That's why
of
I'm sitting
2020.
here going, no, that's not working.
Yes. Well, that's when I went to the first
Yes.
one, and that's when I decided to commit to making a change. And I started losing weight it started just by intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So I literally just decided I'm just going to, if you knew me before, you knew that I did not skip meals.
No, and she did not skip dessert.
And I probably had dessert with every single meal of the day. More than one.
Multiple desserts. And I started having them with her.
It's true.
It was so delicious.
Anybody that worked with us at the time, they knew all of our meetings there was food. There was food happening. There was always dessert. There was always something great. But it was for both of us when we decided to change it all. We did it together.
Well, I started watching her get skinny and so cute. She was already super cute anyway. I mean, fat, skinny, whatever. She was just cute. But she started getting skinny, and then it motivated me. And then I started praying and asking God to help me be disciplined. I wanted to re-implement being disciplined in my life.
Yep.
And I went for my annual checkup, and boy, did God ever help me. I got the diagnosis of diabetes.
Yes.
Which, watching my stepdad go through, he went blind, he had a heart attack, he had his leg amputated. It just was terrifying to me. And I hung up the phone and life changed.
Yep. And so
dropped 50 pounds.
Yes, and I dropped 50 pounds.
We
She dropped 50
really
pounds.
were
And then
doing it
and
together.
we have been accountability partners. But
Yep.
here's the thing that we want to tell you. I was 42 years old at this point, and you were
50. Gosh, how old am I right now? I was
60.
57.
Okay, so here's what we want to tell you. If you're in your 40s or your 50s and you think that you are not able to lose weight because some myth that you have in
You're
your
lying
head,
to
you're
yourself.
lying to yourself, because we both did it. We
Yep.
both did it. We both lost 50 pounds, and I did it. And really, we both changed our diets. But at first, I didn't remove anything from my diet.
Yep.
I just skipped breakfast.
Yep.
That's how it started. And then after that, I have never stepped foot in a gym. Like, I have gone to yoga classes, but I don't work out at a gym. I did it all by walking,
Yep, me too.
by dancing, by doing hand weights and HIIT workouts at home.
Yep.
I never stepped foot in a gym. So and remember, we're still in COVID. That it was still during COVID. So do not use the excuse that you can't get to a gym, that you don't have time for it. I had 2 elementary age kids at home. I had a demanding job. We are now in a lockdown, and I'm homeschooling these kids.
Right.
You cannot tell me that you don't have time.
That's right. And
you can't use the age
so
excuse
here's
either.
the deal. You are lying to yourself unless you have been diagnosed by a doctor with some kind of I don't know what it would be, but if you've been diagnosed, talk to your doctor and have them help you figure out how to make it to where your body will release. And just be intentional with what you're putting in your mouth.
Yep.
I mean, if you know, I have heard people say, "Oh, I've tried that, I've tried that, I've tried that," and I'm like, "No, you're not. You need to write down every single thing that's going into your mouth. You need to read labels. You need to get very intentional, and then walk."
Yep.
You don't. It doesn't even have to be. If you will walk an hour a day.
Yep. And I find that it works best for me in the morning. So do you.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Some
Yep.
people do it after work, and that's okay too. But we even did different things because you followed more. Was it keto? Did you follow?
Oh, I was on the full blown, no carbs at all. I mean, I quit. I didn't eat sugar at all. I didn't eat tortilla chips when we went to have Mexican food. I gave up all my wine. I gave up every single thing.
So we had different eating habits,
Right.
and we still were able to do it. So I'll tell you what I did. My focus was on single ingredient foods. So for me, I kind of went more the vegan route. Not 100% of the time, but it was about an 8-month period. And for me, it was however it is in its original form. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. I literally focused on, if it's processed, I'm not eating it. If it's fruit, any kind of fruit, and it's literally this is how it shows up in earth, I can have it.
Nuts. Yeah.
Nuts, seeds, like totally fine. I didn't have dairy. I didn't have meat. But I say that because I used to be such a, I was addicted to sugar.
Yeah,
I was so
definitely.
absolutely
I think
addicted
I'm
to
still
sugar.
addicted to sugar. I want it. It's just so delicious.
It is. But when you cleanse, so
Yeah.
like for me, my whole point in saying all this is when you get rid of all of the stuff that's
Yeah.
in your body and you really get rid of it is really difficult at first, those sugar cravings, but once you
it takes
get
about 3 weeks.
yes, once
really.
you get past that, I didn't crave it anymore.
I know.
Oh, and I also stopped drinking coffee. That's the other thing. I got
Okay.
rid of caffeine. But really, I ended up I started craving fruit.
Yeah.
And those things really satisfied kind of the sweetness of it, of
Yeah.
this whatever sweet tooth I had, but I didn't crave it anymore. You have to get through the initial
You do.
part of it, but it can be done.
And it's just about getting into your own mind and exercising discipline and just being accountable to yourself. And then it helps if you have an accountability partner. I was seeing my doctor, and so I was going in once a month and weighing in and getting blood work done because she wanted to see what was going on.
Yep.
And my numbers really, they went into pre-diabetic. And then just probably in February of this year, it's 2025, I got my numbers down below the pre-diabetic marker in my A1C. And now I do check my glucose levels at home about twice a week. Right when I wake up, I check the fasting, and then I've done some in the evening. And I'm still in the not my glucose levels are around 89 and around 135 when I'm not fasting, which is really good. But once diagnosed with diabetes, you're always a diabetic. You can just go into remission with it. So this isn't something that I can ever not pay attention to, because I don't want, if I have a heart attack or I lose my vision or I get my leg amputated, diabetes is just such a silent, it just ravages the inside of your body. And by the time you are aware of the damage that it's doing, it's too late. And so that is not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it all I've got. And then if any of that happens, I can look myself in the mirror. I'm a full believer in looking at myself in the mirror and being accountable to me, picking me, and just knowing I did everything I could.
Well, she knows what the road looks like of being a diabetic because of her stepdad. And of course, she doesn't want to put herself through that. So that's why she's doing that.
I don't want to put Jay or my kids through that either.
Which
it's
I think
horrible.
and you don't want to
Me.
put you
I don't
through
wanna do
that.
that.
So that absolutely, for me, I didn't have any diagnosis at all. I just knew that I was fat and unhappy.
I was too, though.
And I knew that I wanted a different life for myself. And after the divorce, I felt like it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to stop pretending, because what happened was food was my comfort. That's really what it was. When I was unhappy, the last few years of my marriage, I was unhappy and I would eat all the time. And
It's what you pick to soothe.
Yes, and it was the thing that made me comfortable. It's the thing that I made it fun and lively. Like let's go eat.
Yeah,
And
all the fun was surrounded around
about eating. But
food,
I didn't realize it, and that it was really to suppress my unhappiness.
Yeah.
And so now, post divorce, I don't need it anymore. Now I am rediscovering myself. Now I want a whole new life. Now I've started, I'm committed to this complete makeover from the inside out, feeding my mind. And, I started meditating and I started doing all of these amazing things. I started moving my body again, which is why we're saying motion is lotion. Just start small. Just go start walking. Walk around your neighborhood. Don't
if
put
you can
the pressure
walk
on.
around the block and it's only a 5 or 10 minute walk, start there.
Yep.
And then just keep increasing that. I walk anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour a day, and then I go home and I just use like little 5-8 pound weights. I used to my personality prior to my last divorce, I'm going to say, it was all or nothing. I had to be number one in everything I did. And I don't know why I was like that, but I had to be the number one sales rep on the team. I had to be the prettiest girl in the room. I had to have the best body. I just showed Bette a picture of myself where I got so thin at one point. I went to my doctor and he said, I want you back in here in a week. If you have not put on a couple of pounds, I'm putting you in the hospital. And I mean, ladies, you can get your body fat so low that your body stops having periods even. And that is not good.
Not healthy.
That is
not healthy.
That is so hard on your body, on your heart, on your organs. It is so not good.
Yeah.
So, and now I would like to be thinner than I am right now, but my son, who says motion is lotion, because I'm about to turn 61 in a week, and he is always like, Mom, just stay right where you are because you're older. If you get sick, you need some extra goodness on you. And now I'm really at a point to where, if in moderation, I can enjoy a glass of wine. I can have, we love to go to Andy's frozen yogurt. Custard. Yeah.
So
Not
good.
yogurt, custard. It's so good. And it does have sugar, but I'm not eating it every single day of my life.
We used to.
Oh, multiple times a day. So now, but if you give yourself this gift of health and movement and just loving yourself to a place of health, it is changing. And energy creates energy.
Absolutely true.
There's things in the morning that I don't want to give up. I really kind of quit a job because I was like, this is interrupting every single thing. I started gaining weight again. But we get up, Jay and I get up, we have coffee, we visit, we do our devotion, we pray. We've got a prayer book. If anybody has any prayer requests, put them in the comments below, and me and Jay will be praying for you. And you don't even have to tell us what your prayer's about. It can be, God knows what it is. And we just can say, please intercede on so-and-so's behalf. You know what's going on. And so we do that. And then we put our walking shoes on and we go take our walk, go in, do some light weights, and then it's on for the day and work, and it just creates so much energy.
You have to make it a part of your day. And that, she is totally right. When, we got this corporate job that we went to together, and we both would look at each other, and it was really disrupting we have prioritized ourselves.
Yeah.
We have prioritized our spiritual, our mental, our emotional, and our physical bodies, which, watch the previous episode, I Pick Me, because it's so important. If you don't put yourself first, everybody else will find a way to make themselves the priority in your life, and you find yourself getting lower and lower on that list, and then you get fat, and then you get unhealthy.
And what makes me so sad about it is that if you wait too long, it is too late. I was talking to my friend, and they are 9-10 years older than me, and they can't even get up out of the chair and walk to the kitchen because their bodies, it's just so true. If you don't use it, you lose it.
It's true.
And
it's true.
Me and Bette are going to live to be 107.
We are. And let me tell you, I feel better now than I did in my 20s or in my 30s or even my early 40s. I feel like, I say this, the complete makeover that we have had, I can wear things that I never thought. When I go to the beach, I feel amazing. I wore the first bikini of my whole life. Just this past, I went to Mexico with my sister in December for her birthday. And that was the first time in my life that I wore a bikini and felt great about it. So these are the kinds of things at our age that now.
Well, we're not the same age.
We're not the same age.
She thinks
we're not
that
the same.
I'm as young as she is.
Okay, but
because
I
have a very energetic
she
spirit
does.
that lives
she has
inside of me.
Yes. So I always say our age, but even though I know, but I still consider her. I think that for me, I know that I feel better than I ever have, and I move more than I ever have. You have to pay attention to your body. You have to move your body. You also have to work your brain.
Yep.
That's
We were
the
just
other
talking
part.
about that too.
I am a forever student.
Yep,
I'm a forever
me too.
student. I am forever in growth mindset. I want to learn. I am incredibly creative. I want to do all these fun, exciting things. I'm traveling more than I ever have. You have to want to live. You have to want to live. That's where that energy comes from. And I want to do more and more and more. So the older I get, the more energetic I get.
You never, the journey doesn't ever stop.
No.
And if you do complete something, start something new, because it's never over.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing that Zach tells me all the time. He's like, Mom, just enjoy the journey.
Yep.
It's never over. And back in my old self, long time ago, I was always looking in the past, and I was always wishing for something in the future, and I was never fully in the present moment.
Absolutely true.
And now I am in the present moment. Now, am I pushing myself? I just finished a certification class that was grueling, by the way, and I had to take a practical exam on screen with a lot of people watching. And I sat in on one just to see what the exam was about, and realized that I had a lot more work to do to be prepared. So I had about less than 48 hours to revisit the different scenarios that I was going to be presenting. And they said, most people don't pass on their first or second time. You've got 3 tries. If you don't.
I knew that she would pass on the first one. I told her that she would, right?
But in this practical exam, you got 3 shots. And if you didn't pass in 3 shots, you were out, never to be able to revisit it. And let me tell you, I hung up I left the room and got back at the working table, and I passed my first one.
I had no doubt at all.
I think it's just because you just have to stretch your brain.
Yep.
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something.
Exactly.
Don't let anybody tell you that because you're between 50 and 60 that you just have to be fat.
Or 40 and 50.
You don't.
Whatever.
Or that if you're 60 that you can't learn or start a brand new career, because that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
I decided that I didn't like the industry that I was in as much as I thought I was going to. Now, I'm still doing that too, just not full throttle, and I'm just adding multiple streams of
which we all should be
Yeah.
doing. We should have multiple streams so that you don't have to experience the rug pull.
Right.
If you're only dependent on one thing.
Right. Right. So it's fun to stretch yourself and to push yourself, and just don't believe the lies.
Yeah, and even if you have a great career that you love and you don't want to learn a new one, that's totally fine. But do something new. We have a friend who loves pickleball. She's the very first person who ever introduced me, I don't know about you probably, but to pickleball. And she loves pickleball. And it's awesome. She has a great career that she loves. She is not trying to go find another career, but she has added new adventures, right, to her life. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we should be doing. Take a painting class, go dance salsa,
Learn how to play the guitar.
Yes, something new.
Something
like you
that
have to
stimulates
use your
mind
brain
and your body.
Yep.
And I play pickleball too. We go every single Tuesday night. I signed up for it. It's a group at our church, and I was telling Jay about it, and he was like, "Are you kidding?" And he didn't want to go, but he always goes with me, whatever I'm doing, whether he wants to or not. Now he is the most competitive. We have tournaments, and the guy who leads it, he's like, "I'm sorry, Jay, if Jay doesn't win a medal." He feels like he needs to get participation awards for Jay. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, it's just fun, and you meet new people, and we are not made to be alone, and it's just so fun to continue to build your community of awesome people.
Yes, and you have to have these great experiences. And I'll tell you, I know people that are getting up there in age, and honestly, even after I say I will never retire. I will
No,
always do something
I'm not
because
retiring either.
I'm just not the sitting around kind of person. Now, I'll be traveling more
Yeah.
and I'll be doing, cool things like that.
And I'll
but-
be her travel advisor.
Of course. But I will tell you, for people that are retiring, and I know this because of a family member that retired and really did nothing, didn't
Sat
do
on the
any
couch, watched
hobbies,
TV.
didn't do this, didn't do that. And you really do lose. I actually feel like you end up going backwards. And I do not think that for your physical well-being and also for your mental well-being, that is not a good thing to do. Now you're just sitting around waiting to die. That is not a positive
And
thing.
I just see so many people who do retire and then they do die. Like shortly thereafter.
Yeah, because there's
they
no
have
meaning left.
We were not just we were created for community, but we also were created for purpose. And so I think if you don't create a purpose for your life always, then your spirit inside is just like, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so boring.
Yeah, you
want to
you
go home.
You have to create that, that energy, that excitement, that curiosity, that playfulness, that vibrant energy. Like, I love all of this
do
stuff.
too.
And we are constantly talking about doing new things, and we're not afraid of change.
No.
I don't know anybody that loves change as much as I do than her.
I thrive on change.
Yes, and so do I.
There are I think there was only two things they said were guaranteed in life: death and taxes. In my life, it's death, taxes, and change.
Yeah.
I want change. I get bored.
I think that too.
Death is way far out. We know April 15th is always around the corner, so you can always file an extension, but we always know we got to file
And I'm the one that
taxes.
always files the
and
extension.
she does, and I don't. I'm like, I'm can't talk to you right now. I'm doing my taxes. But
Yeah.
Jay's the one who
Yeah.
is so, okay, honey, I don't want to bother you, but we need to get these turned in like tomorrow. So
Yeah.
And when you're an independent like Betty and I are, it's not fun. But then when
It's
I
not.
get
There's so
into
much
it,
to
it's
do.
not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Once I start,
you know what? That's
it took me
true. Because
like
once
a day.
it's true. And
not-
actually, once I sit down and
It's kind of fun to get it sorted.
yeah, you procrastinate about it, but once you sit down, then it's like you're solving a puzzle.
Yes,
Then there's
yeah.
something fun about it.
Yes.
I don't know why we push it off so much, but
know.
it turns out to be fine.
Because it's in the category with death.
Yeah.
Death and taxes.
Ah, good point. Good point. We don't want it. Good point.
No, and it's not fun. But anyway,
So this whole episode, if you have learned nothing else, please do something physically, mentally, challenge yourself. Be excited about something, add something into your life, build some friendships, go out, go to the park, walk around the block.
Yeah.
Something. I also, just to throw out a couple other ideas, I happen to love salsa dancing, so everybody knows that
Yeah.
already, but I love roller skating.
Yeah.
And of course, close to us, there are a couple roller skating rinks around here. So like my sister and I will go and we'll take the
That's
kids.
fun.
But I grew up roller skating
Yeah.
and I just love it and it brings me back. So there are so many things that you can do to fit whatever is fun for you, but
Yeah.
do something physically, do something that makes you laugh, do something that keeps you young.
yeah,
You have to.
you do,
have to.
and it's a choice, and that's what's so.
I mean, you don't have to, but the alternative really sucks. So it's your choice.
It is your choice, and to keep it in line with what this podcast is about, and it's mapping your way to love and those kinds of things. When you get yourself, it
And
creates
you loving you.
When you get yourself into a size of jeans that is a goal, and I don't know, and you go out on a walk, and it just creates that energy. It changes your confidence.
It absolutely
It
does.
changes how you walk into a room. It changes your boldness. I mean, it doesn't turn you into, I've turned into an asshole, but it changes who you are. And remember, if you treat yourself the way you want others to treat you, then that's what you're going to attract. And you're also going to treat people that way too, because you're confident, and it changes everything.
It absolutely does. It does.
It makes you feel great. It makes you look great. It makes you act great. It makes you sleep great.
And we both were able to, we got brand new wardrobes. So we got to go shopping.
Yep.
I mean, we did.
I
My
remember-
entire
ugh.
wardrobe, 100% had to be made over because I didn't fit into it. It was all way too big.
I remember I needed a new pair of jeans because all my jeans were too big. And I found a pair of Lucky brand jeans that I'd always wanted. And I'm not going to say the size, but they were a size that I was like, I'm just going to, kill myself by trying these on because they're not going to fit. They fit, and I bought them, and they're my favorite jeans.
Yep.
I've gained a couple of pounds, so now I'm back on the mission. There's no end to it. You've got to stay disciplined and focused, and, I fell off the wagon for a few months, and now I'm back on it, and...
But here's the beauty of that. Because that happens to all of us, especially during the winter and the holidays.
Yes.
That's what tends to...
Does.
You kind of slide up a little bit. But here's the thing. We have both lost 50 pounds.
Yep.
And
Exactly,
the fact
both
of the
of
matter
us.
is, yes, and the fact of the matter, each.
Yeah.
Not total
no.
together.
100 pounds
Each,
total.
100 pounds to get total. The fact of the matter is that when you've done that,
Yeah.
you know that you can lose 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know that you can allow yourself to have, because I've done it, allow myself to have Andes.
An ice cream.
Or,
Yep.
or
Cookie.
cake. Or whatever it is, sometimes I want a big order of nachos.
I know.
And I'll eat that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry. Whatever.
It's very exciting.
But it's okay to do that. And then you just get back to your routine.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When it is your routine, you can allow yourself to do those kinds of things guilt-free.
Yeah, you can.
Guilt-free.
Yeah.
So,
because you know that if you're on vacation, eat the
Enjoy
food.
it. Yes.
I want to go
Have
to
the
beach,
dessert.
and I want them to bring me a cheeseburger and some French fries with a
yes.
lot of ketchup.
And a pina colada.
I'm gonna eat it. I'm going to, and I'm going to enjoy it because I know that time is gonna pass, and I'm gonna be home. And then I can get serious. Maybe I'm going to gain 2 or 3 pounds. But you know what? I just saw a post from a couple. They said they went to Hawaii and they ate every single thing they wanted. And they were so worried about when they got home. But they also walked a lot. And they had not gained a single pound.
Yep.
So if you go on vacation, take the hike up the mountain.
Yes.
Walk on the beach. Jay and I, every time we go to the beach, we do the same thing. We get up and we love to take our shoes off and just walk. We time it. We set our watch 15 minutes, walk 15 minutes, and then walk back. And we know that we've gotten a 30-mile walk.
Yep.
A 30-minute walk in. And then you can drink the pina coladas.
Yep. And we do. And when I
And we
travel
do.
with my sister and I have been traveling a lot lately, and we went to Puerto Rico and we ate everything, and it was awesome.
So fun.
And so then we came home and we walked together too.
Yeah.
She's my neighbor. She lives really close to me now,
So
which I'm
fun.
so
It's
grateful
amazing.
for.
Yeah.
So we both hold each other accountable. So then we say, okay, well, we're back from vacation,
Yeah.
so we got to go
Party's
do our walking.
over.
Party's over, and we get back to normal. And we walk together. Either I go to her neighborhood, she comes to mine. We're talking about whatever we're doing. We always weigh in and share our
Every
weight
day.
in the morning. And so we're like, this is where I am. Where are you?
Yeah.
And it's so funny how we go up together and we
do.
go down together.
It's so
true. We do. So it's about having fun. It's about giving yourself grace, but it's about putting the work in.
Yeah.
And you will thank yourself. You will feel so incredible. I have said this before. You've heard me say this a million times. When you change your eating habits and you cut out all the crap, all the fast food, all the toxic things that we eat.
I know.
When you get rid of all of that stuff, you will not believe how squeaky clean your guts feel.
I know.
It is the most incredible feeling. I had no idea that feeling even existed.
I know.
I didn't know. And now I want that feeling all the time because that's when I know I feel great. And you want to be able to wear whatever you want. If there's a cute dress, if there's a pair of jeans, if there's that
Yep.
bikini, if there's
Something that just makes you
whatever
feel
it
so
is.
good.
Yes, there's a level of confidence. You feel great. And that whole thing that you just said, when you feel great about you,
Yeah.
it's true, you show up differently in the world.
You do.
And then you are kinder. You offer more grace, and you give other people permission to shine bright too.
Yeah.
So there's something really
Yeah,
awesome about
and
that. It's contagious.
I have made a decision. I don't. This is just my personal opinion. This is my choice, not opinion. You can go do what you want, but I don't want to have surgery when I can be disciplined and lose the weight myself and exercise. I really don't want to have Botox and some of those things. I'm going to let I'm going to age with grace. And, I have 2 stepdaughters. I've got a beautiful daughter-in-law, and even my boys. And my dad died when he was really young, and growing old is it's a privilege. And as you can see, my hair is gray. I'm not going to get my hair colored anymore because that's just a battle. And this is my crown of glory and my wisdom, and the wrinkles that are coming on my face is my map of laughter, of tears, of everything I've put myself through, and then the things my kids have put me through. But it's the map of my life. And I personally see women who have done things, and I find a woman who is aging with grace more beautiful than the women who are getting all this stuff done.
Yeah.
Just let God continue with his masterpiece.
Yep. And I'm going to say I 100% agree with it. I have never had not one shot of Botox. I'm afraid of all that stuff. I won't even get LASIK because I'm afraid of it.
Well, I did it, but honestly, it was so expensive, and I did it a couple of times, and I think that I probably waited too long because mine are very deep, but I don't care. I love them now, and my husband loves me, and my children love me, and my friends love me, wrinkled face or not. And I'm not putting you down if you're doing it, though.
Yeah,
don't
everybody's
think that.
It's everybody's choice, everybody's personal choice, but we have both. We're in agreement with that because I don't do it either. I don't do anything anywhere,
and it's hard. It's hard to get older and to lose your beauty, and sometimes now at this age, I can feel invisible because I used to walk into the room and guys would turn their necks and stare at me. I don't get that anymore, but it's so cool. And I tell they look at Bette, they look at my daughter-in-law, and I love sitting there and watching it. It's so cute, and it's their turn. I had my turn, and now I get to sit here and go, you're not good enough for her.
Yeah.
Or she's taken, or whatever. But yeah, go ahead. I know you're not going to see anything that cute ever again for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So
we have had so much fun over the years, and really we have evolved so much, and so much of it has 100% to do with our minds.
Yep.
How we prioritize our health. Yeah. And you have to be around people that want that for themselves and that want that for you. Because I'll tell you right now, if you are surrounded by people who are overweight, that eat crap, that are negative thinkers, and that don't have anything in their lives that they are moving forward towards that excite them or elevate them, you're next. And that's the thing that we've always talked about. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And being around like-minded people, if that's what you want for yourself, I mean, that's what we want for you.
Yeah, it is.
We want you to win. We want you to be healthy. We want you to live to 100 and something.
We want you to find love. We want you to find your true love, like your best friend.
Yeah. We want you to be able to walk, a couple miles, or walk to the fridge, or walk to the living room, or walk. We want you to be able to be healthy in your body and have a sound, clear mind, right? Like there's so many things, and this is the stuff that's free.
Yeah,
but
don't wait.
But it is the most valuable.
It will cost you a lot if you don't start taking advantage of it as soon as possible.
Yep.
And if you haven't walked in a long time, just get up and go walk for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Just start.
And for those of you that might say that your work schedule is too grueling and you don't have any time, well, I used to be a workaholic. Mm-hmm. That's when I was overweight. And let me tell you right now, they don't care about your health. No. Your company doesn't care about your health. Mm-hmm. And what good is all that money that you're trying to make if you're dead because you had bad health and you shortened your lifespan? So honestly, it is your responsibility. Don't let any company, don't let anybody tell you that if you want to work on your health, if you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, body, mind, spirit,
all
any
of it,
kind of practice that you want to incorporate into your life, which we all should, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do that. And don't tell yourself that you can't do that because you don't have the time.
And I'm going to say one more thing, and then our time's going to be up because I think we could talk about this for another hour.
Oh, absolutely. We can keep going.
we all have the exact same amount of time in every single day. And I hear people say, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Well, you have time for what is important to you. And you need to make yourself a priority. And it needs to be for you. It needs to be for your families. It needs to be, this ripples out. Bad health ripples out.
Yep.
If you don't take care of yourself and you get sick, somebody's going to have to take care of you.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking.
It is. It is.
Heartbreaking.
And remember, you have to put your oxygen mask on you.
There you go. That's
first.
good, Betty.
That's a good one, right?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Always put your mask on first.
Yes.
And then go out there and be a light in this world for other people. And you can do it.
Looking
in a
cute.
Healthy body, looking cute. Even if you're a gray-haired grandma.
Well,
I'm gonna be the cutest grandma ever.
I think she is the cutest, and she always is looking all. She's always wearing the cutest outfit.
you.
She's always so put together. And this is the thing that's so important. I feel like, you could use your age as an excuse. Anybody could say, oh, no, I don't feel like doing it. It doesn't matter. I'm married now and I don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
You would never catch her. Like, she is always very well put together, the way she shows up. And I think that's awesome. I think that's a great example for other people.
Yeah.
So
Just do it. It makes you
that's
feel
what I want to do too.
so good. I do it for me. I do it for my husband too.
Yeah.
Sometimes Jay's like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, well, because you're going to be looking at me all day. And I'm like,
That's so funny. That's what my teenage daughter, because I won't go to the gas station without looking cute. And she's like, what are you doing that for? And it's like, for me. Because I want to look cute for me. I want to feel good about me when I step out, And so I always have, now I don't do heavy makeup everywhere I go, but sometimes I always have something on. I always have a lipstick on.
My mom used to always say, do not leave the house without your lipstick on.
Yep.
So I will put a hat on and I will make my hair look cute under my hat and I'll put my earrings on, lipstick, a little bit of blush. And I can look pretty cute in a baseball hat.
Yep.
So, but it does take a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
But it makes me feel good.
Yes, we encourage everybody to do as much or as little as they would like to do.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is work on your mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being, and make sure to keep moving. Keep moving forward. Yeah. Okay.
Motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion. And by the way, and now you know.
Rage against age. And now you know.
And now you know. Thank you so much for joining us today. This episode was really fun. We appreciate your support and you spending a part of your day with us. If you would write a comment down or some feedback, or if you have any questions or any particular topics that you want us to share about, you can do that below in the comment section. And if you want to shoot us an email, you can do that at hello@BettyandJulz.com, BETTE.
And I'm JULZ.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.